You have to target the spike, the ground of the spike, to aim the ability, I think. I didn't happen to watch a guide that had it from the point of view of somebody who went up on the. Um, Lurness, can you and Scotty work out beacon between yourselves? I think that's the only healing thing that interacts with each other. For who's jumping up on the head, can I get Bellatrix and Dead with um, Luna and Labat um, as backup? Eventually, I'll remember where the raid frame. I don't like that they moved the raid tab. Okay. Other than that, somebody has to stay within melee range of him at all times. It shouldn't be a problem. We've got 2 tanks. I'll start off tanking him first. I would assume, same with Kolagarn, that you can fall off the edge. So melee, don't fall off the edge. It's not a damage on the head thing. It's using the ability to pin him. And yeah, you gotta kind of time it. You have maybe 2 or 3 attempts possible before he'll kill the tank and you're out of luck. Other than that, am I missing any huge?
I can't use that item yet.
He's gonna do lots of fire damage. He's going to spit at random people and do damage on them. He's going to spew lava across the whole raid for 16k every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. It's basic heal the raid. Nothing we can really plan ahead for in terms of avoiding. It's just gonna happen. But yes, range and heal should be stacked so that we know exactly where the pillar of fire is going to go, so that we know where the parasites are going to spawn, and then move to blue when the pillar spawns. And now that Annie is back, let's give it a pull. If you didn't, there's a repair bot at Star or Circle, since we've all probably died twice. And go ahead and use guild repairs. There is an achievement. That's what they're there for. All right. Elrina, say what? Looks like you're ready. And I will do a pull timer.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Stay stacked up. Stay stacked up. Come back.
Yep, ranged
come
and
back.
heals be stacked.
Collide.
I don't have any
move,
boss
move.
timers.
Move.
Move over to blue. Slow and AoE those worms.
Collide.
Move back to red. Okay. Stay on red. Okay, jump up on his head and target the spike. Okay. Okay, can we get me up? Coming up.
Sure we get these lava parasites that are still up.
Collide.
Move.
Okay, beyond blue.
Collide.
Move.
Okay, 10, you take him when he comes back. Get some AoE on those lava parasites.
Collide.
Range move to X. Quick.
Collage.
Move to square.
Get those parasites.
Collage.
Red. Range left.
Yeah, we don't have anything left. Go ahead and wipe it up. That was the fight. We need to be quicker, maybe better timed with the
Collage.
with the chains, and maybe that's we need somebody who's giving a countdown so that you hit the chains at the same time. That's all right. I know I did the time that Tenragon was tanking just to see what the mechanics look like.
So two things. Range, when the parasites come out, that's your number one priority. You're not damaging the boss at all. You're killing the parasites.
Right.
Number two, you don't lust at the beginning. You want to lust when you bring the head down and expose it for the second time, roughly, maybe even third time, depending on where we're at. If we're about to enter phase 2, it's better that way, because then you just go right into phase 2 and you can get out of phase 2 faster, which is roughly around 25%. So do not lust at start, and you're only lusting when you expose the head closer to phase 2.
That makes sense. I think it was kind of a just feeling things out. And I will be, side note, I will be getting back to doing the care packages as soon as possible. I just haven't yet built up a stockpile in the guild bank. I know consumes are expensive, so I want the guild to be helping out. I happen to have a few spirit flasks on me if any in particular of the healers need. And yeah, let's solidify. I'll stand on the blue side, off to the left there, to tank. So melee want to start more or less straightforward from X. Okay, everybody was ready. Give you a few seconds to finish the trades and such. Okay. Range will be, remember, stacking up on X on the pole and pulling in 10.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Somebody pick them up, please.
Got it. Range move.
Wait, Pillar hasn't come out.
That was good.
Collide.
Do that to X.
Maybe we should use something other than red for one of the markers.
Floor is red.
Collide.
Move to square, move to square.
Okay, be on X.
Move to X.
Still got the parasites up.
Good job on the chains. Does the head percentage and the body percentage match?
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, you can even cleave both during this phase.
Sorry, Dad.
Move.
Having targeting issues. Let's get Snow back up. might be on blue.
Collide.
That's still recharging. I can't pass that yet. That spell is ready.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, 10, you've got it.
That's still
Finish off these
recharging.
parasites coming up.
Probably lust here.
Yeah.
Do you want me to get the boss?
Yes, please.
That ability isn't ready yet. I can't do that.
Collide.
Square.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Deck.
8%. Be off to the X. Nice job, guys.
It's a really big arrow.
To,
Oh wow, 5 pieces?
Finally, someone to deal with that unsightly pest. You have my thanks, heroes.
I was able to loot a blue quest item from the boss. I don't know if that's an everybody thing or. Looks like
It's
it's
a
dark.
Dark
Fair,
Moon
yeah.
Fair.
fair thing.
Maybe if you did. Like, I can't loot anything, but. Okay. So this is a council style fight. I know we've got the the sentries to deal with, but there are 4 bosses. At any given time, 2 of them will be active. Well, we'll start with 1, and then after a certain amount of time, the second one will activate. When the third one activates, the first one deactivates, and so on. Let's deal. Are these sentries, I assume, together, and again split them apart?
No, you can do them together.
Okay.
Also, we're missing Devo Aura.
Oh, I saw it at one point. I'll run Devo. Ah, there's a swirly thing on the ground that disorients. So, miniature things of the bosses to come. Okay, there are 4 bosses. Arcanatron looks like he's going to be the first one for us. It's a random order each week. I don't know if it's random order from pull to pull, but so it looks like we'll be starting with Arcanatron. He will put a pool on the ground, bright white swirl pool. Stand in it for a DPS boost. Keep the boss out of it so that he doesn't get said boost. We'll also need an solid interrupt rotation on his Arcane Annihilator ability. When he puts up a barrier, which will be the same time that the next boss becomes active, DPS needs to switch this to the second boss. We don't want to hit them while their barriers are up generally. Now, I don't know if this will be the order, but next boss could be Electron. If you get the Lightning Conductor debuff, move out of the raid. It'll need to be a spread, like an 8-yard spread. It doesn't have to be perfect, but try not to be all stacked up. And again, don't touch his shield once he puts it up. Magmatron will do an AoE. Yeah, they're all Trons. He'll do an AoE fire damage on the entire room. We just have to heal through that. He will also target a player for flamethrower. You'll be targeted for a few seconds, and then after a few seconds, he'll start channeling the flamethrower. Everyone, when you get targeted with it, move out of the group and move so that you're not putting anybody in that line between you and the boss. So don't put the melee in between you and the boss. Melee, be aware as well, because that's partly on you to move. Again, when he puts up his shield, it absorbs a certain amount of damage and then breaks. If it breaks, it's going to wipe us. The 4th boss is Toxitron. He puts out a chemical cloud, which increases damage taken by anyone in the cloud. So we don't want to be in it, but if we can get the boss standing in it without having the melee or tanks in it, then we get extra damage. He'll periodically put out poison bombs that will fixate on a random player and move towards them. They will explode when they reach melee range, so we need to DPS them. And when he puts his shell up, it stacks a poison on anybody who attacks him, which does a nature dot. It's dispellable, but it also, whenever you attack or use a spell on an enemy, it does extra damage. So if you have the dot on you and it's not stacked too high, you'll be doing extra damage. Just be smart. Don't overburden the healers. So all in all, for the most part, don't hit the barriers. We're only going to be hitting one boss at a time. We need to keep the bosses separated so that Cleave doesn't accidentally hit the shields. Stand in the power generator pools. Stay out of the toxic clouds. Interrupt the arcane annihilator. Get out of the raid if you're a lightning generator or a lightning conductor. And if you get targeted by flamethrower, don't run it across the raid. So when Magmatron is active, we probably want the raid standing to one side so that there's a clear area to run out to. So, for interrupts, since we've got Arcanatron first, we're gonna have to start with the interrupt rotation right away. Shal, if you could get the first interrupt, and then Jason.
Okay.
And then Bellatrix. And it'll be the three of you, and I think you'll have to stay on the boss and just not do a lot of damage to him once he puts up his barrier. I was a little less clear on that part when I was reading.
Everyone should switch to killing the ads that have been kited around this whole time.
Damage
because the green
done
vial removes their buffs,
grants
making them
him
way easier to
additional
kill. When the
damage
boss
and
gets to 25%
increases
health,
his
he
spell
starts
haste.
phase
So
two,
yeah, don't do
releasing
damage
any
to
remaining
him
aberration ads and also releasing
when his barrier is up.
Therapists are human beings.
to the next boss.
At that
Omnitron
point, we
Defense
just
System.
want
This is a
interrupts.
council-style
So it
fight
might
where there's
just
4
be
bosses
the
that share
shamans.
health, but only 2 of them are
If
active
we
at a
can
time
keep
because
that,
they rotate in and out of the fight.
if
When
we
a
can
new
keep the
boss
rotation
comes
with
in,
just
the
2.
previous one gets a shield on it that does
Well, we'll
real
have the
bad
tank
stuff
as
if
well.
you hit it. So you're only ever
And
attacking one boss at a time.
10,
All
you and
you
I
really
will
need
have to
do is
stop
switch to
attacking
hitting the new boss every time one comes
on
in, while
the
one tank takes the
shielded
old boss
ones
away
as
and the other
well.
tank instantly gets aggro on the new boss. And this happens about every 45
So
seconds.
I'm guessing
By the way,
since
the
they
order of
have
the
an
bosses
energy
is
bar
random
of
every week.
100,
As for each of the boss's mechanics,
that will
Arcanatron you need
decrease,
to interrupt
and
a
that will
lot
give us
because
an
he
idea
frequently
of when
casts
they're going to go
Arcane
into
Annihilator,
their
which does big damn to a random player.
shielded
He
mode,
also
because
puts
I'm
this
not
blue
getting
pool
any
on the ground
DPM
that players
timers
can
yet.
stand in to do 50%
Shield goes
more
up at
damage.
50
Just make sure
power.
to keep the boss out of it.
Power
Electron
down
you
at
should
0.
spread out a
Okay.
little for, because he does some chain lightning style damage that jumps to other nearby players, and he puts a lightning conductor debuff on a random player who needs to move away from everyone else until it's gone. Magmatron requires big healing because he has a channel that blasts the whole raid with unavoidable fire, and he also points this beam at a random player for a couple seconds before shooting flames in their direction, so they need to move away from the raid while everyone else stays out of the way. And finally, Toxitron puts a green gas cloud near a random player, which you should avoid standing in, but you can put the boss in to make it take 50% more damage. Also, his Poison Protocol channel spawns some ads that fixate random players. These ads need to be slowed and killed before they reach the player and blow up. And that's pretty much it. Here's a
Okay, we'll see if this goes any better then. Alright, here's a barbecue. Okay. I think most buffs look pretty good, but right. I'll tank Arcanatron. 10, you pick up the second one.
Okay.
Pulling in 10.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You can lust at start.
Go ahead, hero. Here's one of those power puddles. Looks like we're getting Magmatron second.
There's a puddle behind the boss, guys.
New boss, Magmatron's up.
Just landed run.
Everybody switch target. And I will still need interrupts, but interrupts only on Arcanatron.
On Olo.
Power puddle over near the wall.
Third boss is up.
Stop attacking.
Okay, need to be somewhat spread and be ready to move out if you become a lightning conductor. But we're still dealing with flamethrower.
Six up.
Next boss up. Okay, be ready to AoE those ads. Okay, melee, be careful. I've got the lightning conductor.
Special coming.
Ads coming. Power puddle by Arcanatron.
Get those poison bombs.
Watch your feet.
Okay, new boss.
I can't cast that yet.
Just the Magmatron. I missed.
%55 energy.
Okay, loose spread, 4%.
Still recharging. Not ready yet.
Organized chaos.
Disorder is still a form of order.
That malfunctioning piece of junk was murder on the repair bills.
Okay, elevator, don't die. Really fast elevator.
Maloriak net?
I was actually thinking Chimeron. How far does that pat at Diamond? Do they just come as far as
Double.
Pyre Mall?
Out of range. That ability isn't ready yet.
We're good.
I need a target.
I did all that healing, but I couldn't heal myself.
Okay, do not talk to the gnome.
I mean, that's good life advice in general. Quiet, Mars.
That's the other gnome. All right. Healers
Recap of the
for
fight.
the bulk
After the first
of
two
this
bosses, you can go to the next
fight,
3 bosses in any order, but I'll start with Chimera. He's actually asleep, and you can't fight him until you
players,
talk to this
except
gnome
for the
dude over in this
tanks,
cage. Talking to him
only
makes him
need to
activate his
be
little
kept
robot, which
above.
makes the boss wake up, and then you
Now,
can
is
fight
it
him.
10K
This
or
robot is
10%?
also the
Because I
main
saw
thing
two
you need to
different
know about
videos
for
that
this
said
fight,
different
because it
things.
gives everyone an
10K.
I watched it
absolutely
10K.
insane buff. You cannot get one shot if you have
That's-
more than
yeah.
10k health. Healers especially need to know
So,
this because you don't want to keep
for
everyone
the
at
bulk
full
of the
health for this
fight,
fight. You will
we really only need to keep people above 10K. So don't, don't strain yourselves.
run out of mana if you try, because the boss just does way too
part
much damage.
of the fight
Your goal is to
that
keep everyone
we need to
above
be more
10k
than that
health,
is
and
when
that's it.
that
The only
bot,
exception being
the
the
Biotron
tanks,
bot,
who are still worth putting
is
extra healing into. While the
inactive.
robot is active, everyone
It
should
puts
spread out
a
around the
buff
boss
out
to be
on
at
us
least
that will
6
keep
yards
us
away
from
from each other,
dying
because the boss frequently
we've
does
got above
splash
10K
damage around
health.
random players, and you don't
Aside from Mustangs.
watch it. Here's a recap of the fight, and
Yeah,
we're on
shooting with Shadow Priest. The big thing is that he'll be putting so he'll be spitting slime at people that will inflict a ton of damage divided evenly among all players within 6 yards of the target. But hey, we have a buff that keeps us from going below 1 hit point as long as we start it with 10k. So stay spread out 6 yards. He'll periodically do an ability called Massacre. It's a channel. He'll channel the spell or cast the spell. So we'll have warning on it. It will possibly knock out the robot, at which point we will need to heal more. If he does knock the robot out, his heads are going to start arguing and he won't be able to melee for 30 seconds. The tanking thing on this boss is that he will periodically break through your defenses, increasing physical damage taken, reducing healing done for a minute. It stacks. When he does that, then he's going to double attack, which would overcome the robot's buff. So when he casts Break on the tank, the other tank needs to taunt. Once he double attacks, then the first tank will take him back. That's 80% of the fight. At 20%, he enrages. He's no longer tauntable. And healing done to players is reduced by 99%. So as we approach the 20% mark, everybody needs to be healed, topped up as much as possible. And then at that point, that's when we hero and use all of our cooldowns and hope we kill him before he kills us. Any questions?
Just another thing about 20%. It's not. I'm stuck. Okay. No. Okay. He will start targeting people with the lowest threat, and that's who he goes after.
Okay.
So he's not really tankable at that point, and he's probably gonna go snipe all the healers first.
Sounds good. All right. So.
Oh no, don't do that.
Don't do what?
That just tricks to me.
So go ahead and spread out. We're looking for like a 6-yard spread. You've got the majority of the room. Because you could tap dance on its head at the moment and it won't do anything.
Actually, Callie, do you want to get in position and I'll talk to him?
Okay. All right, everybody is ready. Just gonna do a 5 on this timer. So pulling in 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah.
Did the
AOE
robot
incoming.
not activate?
It did not.
Yeah, I think you need to wait for the robot to activate before you attack.
I think if you talk to the, so I was expecting to talk to the gnome and start the fight, not the other way around. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. I probably would have done the same thing. I taunted when he moved. But hey, 88%. I'll just do a 10.
I thought the object
Oh.
before was to do a 10 pull.
No. 8. You mean range? I think Blizzard turned that off somehow.
Yeah, there's no range indicators anymore. At least it's my understanding. That API has been disabled.
It's never a good pull when the mages are number 2 and 3 on healing from Cauterize.
Alright, here's barbecue. And it looks like the debuff icon for that break debuff is the like growl icon.
Okay, yeah, it looked like it was popping up on my heal bot, so I should be able to see it. But
Okay. Everybody's ready.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay, boss.
1.
Okay. The conversation with the gnome is like 6 clicks, so I think we should just start with that and not worry about a timer.
Okay.
AOE incoming.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it off.
Aw, damn.
Like half a second left.
Maybe you can reset them. I'll try.
I've got some timers, but
Yeah, I don't know if we can heal through that.
we're not supposed to.
I know.
Annie almost pulled Oni.
I'm pretty sure there's an invisible wall there, but I wasn't about to test it.
I'm gonna get the elevator to res.
I'll come back to the elevator.
So you said you want us to use guild repairs?
Go for it.
I don't see it, but I don't care.
Oh. It's probably a rank thing. I messed with some things and I haven't.
No, it's fine. I just wanted to do what
Was requested.
Yeah. That's all.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm still fussing with they changed the interface and everything, so I'm still fussing with it.
Okay.
All right, repair bot at Star. Yeah, we haven't yet gotten the poll right. So, everybody's ready, and I'm not going to do a timer on this one. 10, just go through it and see if we can get the bot active.
Just say when. That is 10. Say when.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, bot's active.
Okay.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Turn off aspect of the pack, whoever has it on.
AOE incoming.
Pick 10 up.
Coming up.
AOE incoming. AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Range stack.
Okay, he's not mailing range stack. Because this is when you need to split the caustic slime. Okay, be ready to spread.
AOE incoming.
Spread now.
That's still recharging.
I've got the boss.
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up.
AOE incoming.
Go ahead and spread.
Oh, I had to. It's on again when you can, Callie. Sorry.
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Okay, range stack.
No, you have any? Oh, wait a minute, you got one.
AOE incoming.
Didn't have enough people at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the correct poll. So not every massacre, but sometimes it will disable the bot, it looks like.
I think it might be when he does systems failure.
Well, that's
then-
the...
Yeah.
That's saying that it's done.
Yeah, from the Dungeon Journal, it says every massacre has a chance to disable the bot.
Yeah, the entire raid should stack when that happens. So we'll be back.
Right.
Where the entrance is, right behind it.
We stack when system failure?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Which will be right after a massacre. So pay attention when massacre is casting as to whether system failure happens.
Is there a res range nowadays?
We should be able to get you.
Yeah, Absolution, well, Mass Res is 100 yards.
Okay.
And remember, we can stand right on top of him, this particular boss.
Cannot command.
And yeah, when we're stacking for the systems failure, it needs to be a tight pixel stack. Like, absolutely, if you're not all within one of these little circles on the floor, you're spread out too far.
Is that when we're stacked on his ass?
Yeah. Yeah, be stacked within Yaz's portal. Barbecue's up. Yes, thank you for the food. Once I see the bot spraying his buff mixture around, then I will activate the boss. All right, everybody's good on your pull 10.
I can't do that yet.
AOE incoming.
Pick 10 up.
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up. Tight stack. Actually, you know, we can probably stack too.
AOE incoming.
Spread out.
Spread.
Not ready yet. That ability isn't ready yet.
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up.
AOE incoming.
Stack. Yep, spread.
Got him.
AOE incoming.
I can't do that.
Can we get 10 up again?
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up.
Get a druid. Battle res 10.
AOE
Not
incoming.
have quite enough people stacked. Go ahead and wipe it. %. Let's give it one more pull, and then we'll take a 5.
I died from rocket fuel.
Yeah, do we have a repair bot?
I got one.
You? Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Alright, tighter, faster stacks on the systems failure. When we're not in systems failure, be spread, melee. That probably means you'll need to be in an arc. Along, so that you're not splashing to each other. Remember, it's 6 yards. Because I definitely see some of you guys taking a lot of damage from that. Devo Aura is up. You might just be out of range of it. And yeah, his hitbox is huge. Even though his little red circle is not. So, alright. On your pull, 10. 3, 2, 1.
AOE incoming. AOE incoming. AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up.
AOE incoming.
Spread.
AOE incoming. Danger, danger.
Stack up. Can we get, don't take it until, get Labat up, but don't take it until we're, unstacked.
AOE incoming.
Okay, spread.
AOE incoming.
Heal everybody full. After this, heal everybody up. Good hero.
Lost.
He's no longer tauntable.
Healing effects are nil.
So whatever damage reduction you got, that's what you got.
Not ready yet.
Nice.
Great job, guys. He should be
Really nice, guys.
just fish around in there until you find it.
Impressive. You managed to destroy one of my most horrific creatures.
And we will take a 5 here after we do loot. If we're good to do loot. Oh, if you are trying to roll for something, you have to put a note in. Click on the little note to the side. And this was particularly important in ICC when we needed to have a certain number of badges and all. Yeah. Make sure, since it's our first raid, yeah, as in loot council, make sure that people, everybody's going to want whatever makes sense for them, probably. So I don't know if did the tests go out correctly. Did everybody have it? 'Cause it looks like Luna's not
Luna's the
seen
only
them.
one, but I got
Okay.
that covered, so we're fine.
Perfect. All right. As soon as you have clicked on your loot choices, then take 5.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, just checking to see who's back.
Did jump off?
Let me see if he's in range for a life grip.
You can do that.
Or summons.
Yeah, that might work too. Mine's cooler though.
Rio, where are you at?
I'm level 82. Does that count for anything?
Did you accept a summon midair, Dad?
No, you can jump down because that's how we have to get down there eventually.
Just to clarify, I don't know if everybody knows, but you do get a stat bonus for wearing all of the armor, the maximum level armor that you can. So if you wear plate, you want to be wearing all plate. I know some of you guys rolled on some lower item or lower armor types. But you will be losing that if you equip a lower level armor type.
That's fairly significant.
And it's definitely going to not be an upgrade to equip like a pair of cloth, just to get an epic item for losing that, because you're losing like 5% of whatever your primary stat is.
Okay. Looks like everybody's here now. Since everybody moved out here to join us. Let's... Yeah, we'll go through this real quick.
Make sure this still works. It works. Good.
We'll pull next time they come back this way.
Oh, can I watch?
That sounds kinky.
Yep, sure. Just a sec.
Or somebody can stream.
Thank you, Callie.
10 if you would pick up X. Okay, pulling in 3, 2, 1.
Oops, sorry. There we go.
Alright, gonna pull this Drake towards us.
Watch that path.
Yeah, we're probably going to get that pack.
Ooh.
Note for later, remember that Pat's still there when we come out afterwards.
Yep. Now be very, very quiet. We're hunting dragons.
I pray we don't Elmer Fudd this.
I mean, as long as the boss doesn't stick his finger in the end of our rifle, we should be good.
Or tie her sword into a knot.
That goes through.
Rabbit season.
Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit.
Okay. Looks like we've got. Do these two pulls come separate? Or
Yes.
these two sides? Okay. Well, let's take the left side first.
I think you need a single target these down. Because they heal
Yeah.
So just skull it. But I've chain lightning.
Ouch. Yeah.
Is that interruptible?
I don't even know. I don't see a gas.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, you kill one.
They
and
get.
some others.
Yeah. Okay, I did that wrong then. I should have saved chain lightning for last. I was taking it out of the. Anybody know what the Burden of the Crown does?
Does it make your head heavy?
Possibly. Don't forget the Pat that we did not kill.
feel like as I'm floating down from on high, my robes should at least be billowing.
So yeah, I did that backwards. I was hoping to make chain lightning not a thing, and instead I gave it to all of them. Alright, so...
Don't we have to tank one of these guys away from the group? Or am I making that up?
Possibly. Maybe Molten Fist, because he can Thunderclap.
Maybe? I forget.
Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah. Just a little while.
A little bit, yeah.
Burden of the Crown.
Almost sounds like burned to the ground.
Yeah, well, hopefully not. At the very least, Shadowforge is going to be last. I'm going to put a square. Square will be last.
Burden of the Crown. His damage done is increased by 100%. Abilities have no cost but deal 823 damage on hit.
So taking him out second to last is probably not a bad thing. Maybe taking him out last.
And it doesn't matter a whole lot because his ability gets transferred to whichever one is left, so you're going to have the same set of abilities for the last person, regardless
The
of
last
the
two.
order.
Right, but whether we have it on 2 or 3 at the same time, yeah. But we only want one of them with superpowered chain lightnings.
Right, I think Skull and X are fine, but I don't think it matters between
Okay.
circle and square.
Sounds good then. Alright. Let's give this another go. I'll take Skull and X if you take the other two.
Okay.
Heals wouldn't want to be in the pile because there's a stun. The Stormbolt is a stun, I think. Yes.
That ability isn't ready yet.
And I would split circle and square once X dies, so we don't have two Thunderclaps killing everybody. Circle.
Circle next.
Oh, that burden of the crown is applying on our people, not on the mobs.
Oh, maybe it's the whirlwind guy that you have to hold out.
Yeah, I would say hold Whirlwind out to himself. We don't want to kill him first, because we don't want the other three to go into Whirlwinds. Let's say Angerforge. No. Yes. Okay, Skull X. Skull X, circle square. And yeah, if you want to pull by hitting circle, I'll take Skull off for the melee.
Okay.
On your pull. Okay, I got these two.
I don't have a target. I need a target.
We need to do damage to square to break that execution sentence.
Console.
X will be next. I'll bring him over here. Square.
That ability isn't ready yet. Not ready yet. That's still recharging. I can't do that yet.
Okay, melee, be careful of the whirlwind.
Maloriak, how gracious of you to finally appear from that quarantine you call a laboratory. What have you got this time?
My sincerest apologies for the disturbance, my liege. But I believe I have something you may.
Alright, there's a Jeeves at star. One at square. Jeeves everywhere. Okay, this boss. We will get a new gauge based on sound, which we start with 0 sound and gain sound when we take damage. When we hit 100 sound, that's more or less death. The shields around the room, using the shields will reset everyone to 0. It also stuns the boss briefly, but he will destroy the shield when he comes out of the stun. So he has a ground phase and an air phase. During the ground phase, he's going to send out discs of sound, little like round pulses that'll float out from him. They will.
And there's a couple
gain
unusual
you 3
things
sound
about
if
this
you get
boss.
hit by
First
them.
off, there are these shields around the outside
Dodge
of the
the
room that you
discs.
can right-click during the fight to stun the boss. And after you pull, you get this circle thing on your screen that shows you how much sound you generated. Really, it's just a
track
measure of how much
on
damage you've
a
taken, and if you
random
get to
player
100 sound, the boss one-shots
cast
you. Luckily,
Sonic
using one of the
Flame.
shields also resets everyone's sound. So as long as you're not getting hit by literally
So that
everything,
player
you'll
will
be
need
chilling.
to
In phase
run
1, pull him to the big
in
open
one
area toward
direction,
the entrance.
and the rest
When he
of the
starts
raid will
casting
need to
searing
move
flames,
away.
immediately right-click one of the shields to interrupt the cast,
Anybody who
because it
gets
does a
hit by it
crazy amount of raid damage and
will
leaves
get,
fire on the ground. Dodge
20
these rings
sound
that
and
slowly move out
20k
from under the
fire
boss,
damage.
and when the boss is casting Sonic Breath, run away from the fire breath that
For
follows a
that,
random
we'll
player for a
have
few seconds.
the
After
boss
about 90
tanked.
seconds,
The
the
boss
boss
will be
flies up
tanked
in the air and
middle. He
starts
does
phase
not have
2.
a tail
In this
swipe.
phase, he shoots a beam of fire on the ground that follows a random player, which gets faster and
the
faster
raid-
over time. That
the
player needs to
ranged
run
and
around the edge of
heals
the
will be
room for as
stacked
long
up
as they can before
together.
the beam catches up to them. And then someone needs to use one of the
When
shields, which stops the beam and then
someone
makes it start
gets
chasing the
targeted
person that
by
clicked the
that
shield.
Sonic
Then they run away from it, and
flame,
you repeat that process until the phase is over.
they should
Melee
run towards the head, towards the boss's head. The rest of the raid should move towards the boss's tail somewhat to get out of the way. I think this is technically a 1 tank fight, but we're just going to do it with 2 tonight because that's what we got. I'm not quite set up to run Ret and Raid.
Melee are the best candidates to be the shield clickers because it stops the beam and then makes it start chasing the person that clicked the shield. Then they run away from it and you repeat that process until the
stay out
phase
of
is
fire.
over. Melee are the best candidates to be the shield clickers because they can't hit the boss in this phase
in
anyway.
air
Everyone else
phase.
needs to be a little spread out and constantly stutter stepping around because the boss drops little bombs on random players which can
Fire
be avoided
will
with pre-movement.
fall from the
After
sky.
about 30 seconds, the boss comes
Stay
back
out of
down and
fire.
starts phase 1 again and it's rinse and repeat.
He will breathe fire at a particular raid member and chase them with it. They need to kite it around the outside of the room. It's going to get faster the longer they kite. And if it catches you, you're going to gain a lot of sound and probably die. To force him to switch targets, somebody will have to click a shield. The person who clicks will then become the target and they'll have to kite it. So for air phase, whoever gets it first, kite it as long as is reasonable. And then after that, I'd like the melee who have boosts to take turns kiting. So we've got sprint and dash and rocket boots for a couple of the melee. You guys won't be able to reach the boss to do damage during that phase anyway, so. But that is the bulk of the fight. Ground phase, air phase. During ground phase, if anybody's getting near 100 sound, then they're going to get killed. We'll need to hit one of the shields. Yaz, could you be the ground phase shield person since you can port? And then during air phase, let's start off with whoever gets it first will kite as long as they can. Dead, try to get to a shield on the opposite side of the room from that person, and then you'll take, when it's getting close to catching them, hit the shield and then you kite. Third kiter will be Aqua. Of my other melee, we've got Liliana has Cat Dash. Oh, Aqua doesn't have boots. Do we have any engineers in the melee that have boots? Okay. So Dead's going to take the first. Dead's going to take air phase kiting off the first target, so he'll be the second target to kite. When it's close to catching him and he's used up his speed boosts, if Bella, if you would hit a gong and kite if the boss isn't landing yet. And we'll see where we go from there. We may also use mages with blink. I want to use melee first though, because ranged can be damaging the boss while he's in the air. Okay, let's give this a pull, see what it looks like. I don't know, is the tank supposed to hit the bell Or is somebody else supposed to, and then the tank be in position?
I think there's a bit of RP, so you have time. But I forget.
Okay. All right, everybody's ready. And I'm going to turn him. I'm going to try to have him with his tail facing the door, his head facing where I am at the bell. So the shields will be on either side of him. Raid. Let me. Olo. Ranged and heals stack with Olo on square. And if you get targeted during ground phase, the person targeted should move towards the tanks, and the rest of the raid should take a few steps towards the tail. So, all right, everybody was ready? Pulling now. Okay, he did not automatically pull, so. I'm actually going to pull him straight back. So his head will be at the door.
Watch your step.
Miss.
Watch your step. AOE incoming. Watch your step.
That spell isn't ready yet.
Watch your step. Watch your step.
Face.
Okay, spread and about. Okay, kick the bomb. Kick the bomb. Dead. And Bella hit the.
Watch your step. Watch your step. AoE incoming. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Okay, air phase. Right, be ready to dodge and run. Bella, you're next. Bella, hit it. And one of the mages, be ready to hit it if you can. Okay, he's down.
Hey, we never lost it.
Watch your step.
Yep, let's hear.
Watch your step. Watch your step. AoE incoming. Watch your step. Watch your step.
Two % finish him off. Be ready to run. Nice job, guys.
You would think with all the noise from our spells and swords hitting him and stuff, he'd have honed in on us a little more easily.
Now that was really unnecessary.
Watch the pat.
So what are all the loot doubles?
I don't know. Those dupes.
It's kind of one of the things that happens.
Now let's just go through it.
I think this is easier if I run in and grab the dogs and you just taunt Skull off of me, because the dogs are going to charge the first person.
Sounds good.
Are we ready?
Go for it.
Ooh.
Come on up. I'll take unmarked.
Okay.
What's your threat if you're using the Tell them that they're vulnerable too. Actually, I guess nobody's close.
Yeah, they're currently vulnerable to frost, so.
Oh, it changes then.
Mm-hmm.
This one was from cold nature earlier.
And that's pretty much it. Here's a recap of the fight, and we're on to the next boss, Maloriak. This fight has two phases. In phase 1, you need a boss tank and an ads tank, because anytime these aberration ads spawn
First
around the room, a
phase,
tank needs to run around and get aggro on them and then kite them around away from the boss.
He's going
They all buff
to
each other, making them do more damage and take less damage. So try to keep them slowed for the tank, but don't bother killing them until later. You can interrupt the boss's release aberrations cast to
release
prevent some of them from
aberrations?
spawning, but you actually want to release all 18 of them by the time the second phase
we
starts.
do
So
not
we recommend
want
only
to
interrupting this
interrupt
once
that.
or twice the whole fight, whenever you already have a bunch of ads out. Throughout the phase, you also have to interrupt the
maybe
boss's
only once or
Arcane
twice.
Storm channel, which does huge raid dam, and purge the boss's Remedy buff, which heals him. When the boss throws a blue vial into his cauldron, ranged players should spread out at least 5 yards from each other, because the boss sometimes freezes a random player and anyone close to them.
Because
Ranged
at
DPS should break these
25%,
players out of the ice,
when he
and
transitions
healers should
phase 2,
focus
he's
heals
going
on
to
them.
release
Also,
everything
anyone
that's
who gets
left.
the biting chill
So
debuff
we
should
want
spread out
to
from other
release
players
them
until
slowly
it's
over
gone,
the course
because
of
it
the
pulses
fight.
AoE damage, because it's by far the
so
most
that we're not
threatening part of the
overwhelmed at
fight.
the end.
And that's pretty much it.
We are going to want to interrupt. Is it Arcane Storm? Yes. So if I can get Dead get the first interrupt, Shall second, and Bellatrix third. And then anybody else jump in. We're also going to need to make sure that we're purging. We don't have a Shadow Priest, so it's going to have to be Purge, Shal, and Jason. The Remedy, which is a hot and mana return. So he's going to buff himself with, or he's going to throw vials into the cauldron. The first one is going to be either red or blue. The second one will be either blue or red. And the third one will be green. So for a red vial, we want to stack up and face the boss towards the stack so that we divide the 1,000,000 damage that he's breathing among the whole raid. The one exception to stacking up is anybody who has consuming flames does not want to be in the fire breath because they take increased magic damage. So watch out for that debuff. Get out of the raid and get out of the blast zone if you have it. Otherwise, you should be stacked during a red vial. During a blue vial, we need to be spread. He's going to flash freeze. Players will need to... We need to break the ice off of our fellow raid members, but we also need to be away from it because it will shatter and do damage to anyone nearby. After he's done a red and a blue vial, he'll do a green vial, at which point there's going to be a slime spray which increases all damage taken by 100% and suppresses the aberration's damage reduction buff that they normally have. So during green vial, we need to stack the boss on top of the ads, which up until this point have been kited around in the back of the room. We'll stack the boss on top and kill everything. At 25%, he'll release everything that's left, including 2 big experiments called prime subjects. And I think at that point, little things just need to be dealt with, and we kind of just tank the prime subjects. He'll do magma jets at this point, which leaves fire patches on the ground. And does damage to players in front of him, short range. Absolute Zero summons a sphere of sub-freezing energy near a random player and will explode if it comes within 3 yards of any player, dealing damage and a knockback. And Acid Nova inflicts damage to all players, a dot to all players for 10 seconds. So for the first phase, 10, if you would tank the boss, I'll tank the ads. First phase, red vial, stack up, face the boss towards the raid. Blue vial, raid needs to spread out. I don't think there's any particular facing on that phase. And green vial, we bring the boss to the ads and kill everything. So let's give this a pull. We probably got time for 1 or 2 pulls before the end of the night.
Don't target the ads before the green.
Correct. They have a damage taken reduction until the green. So it's just a waste of energy. All right, looks good. 10 has the boss. I'll have the ads. Don't interrupt release aberrations. We're interrupting Arcane Storm. And
Do you want me to take him where he is until he picks a color?
yes.
Okay.
And on your pull. Did I give you? Yes, you have assist.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No disruptions. Mustn't keep the master waiting. Mustn't fail again.
I can't do that yet.
Okay, right, stack up and face the boss towards the right. Remember, we need to let the aberrations be released.
That's still recharging.
My failings will be your downfall. How well does the mortal shell handle extreme temperature change?
And I could use some traps back here to kite the aberrations with.
That ability isn't ready.
This is spread out.
That spell isn't ready.
Spread.
My failings will be your downfall. My failings will be your downfall.
Fighting chill on me. Be careful.
This one's a little unstable, but what's
Okay, bring the boss to the ads. And cleave, keep that interrupt up. Good. Let the release aberrations happen.
How well does the mortal shell handle extreme temperature change?
Blue spread out.
Find out for science.
Not ready yet.
Okay, Okay, we're about to change into phase 2.
Phase 2.
Get some ice traps in the back, please.
Hero. Focus boss.
That's still recharging.
Alright. I'm now going to try to explain the Nefarian fight in 10 minutes. It's a lengthy fight in itself. So let's go ahead and do loot, and we'll call that a successful raid night. Really nice job tonight, guys. We will be back in on Tuesday. Now, next raid week, because we've got both nights, we're looking at both these bosses and Bastion of Twilight. Also, don't run Throne of the Four Winds until we see how things go on Tuesday. Barret and Hold, while I know it drops tier gear, feel free to pug that this coming week at the very least. We'll see how things go. I don't want to lock people out of getting a chance at tier gear. 10, did you happen to be running logs?
I believe so. I'm not sure if that add-on got updated, but I can check.
Okay. So thank you everybody for coming. Great night. What was that? 2, 3 one-shots, and Chimeron was mostly just figuring out the pull.
It was a lot of fun.
Yep. Feels good to be back.
Definitely looks good.
Oh, the mana management is so annoying, though. I miss having my massive spirit regen.
So what you're saying is I'm not going disc, I'm going shadow.
I mean, we do have replenishment other places in the raid, but...
Well, you're going disc because you're, because I have Ellerina healing tonight.
Oh, that was cool.
Hey, it's
Apparently,
not that bad.
when I did these things, I got 2 maelstroms.
So,
But
do we have to
thank
get the loot from somebody, or?
Yes.
Okay.
Once,
Yes.
yeah, open trade with Yaz.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
If you open trade with me, it should auto put it in there, and then I can just accept the trade. Otherwise, I will try to find you once I'm done.
Anyone want to do some dungeons with the Lobby?
Yeah, don't make Yaz hunt you down.
Everybody else is in Stormwind.
Yeah, it looks like Lernus is going to be trying to put together a throne run tomorrow night, 9ish. So keep an eye on the Discord for that. Thanks everybody for coming. It was great to be back raiding with everybody and to raid with those of you who are new to the guild.
Thank you.
Nice to be raiding again.
You